Recording in progress. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I am so excited to be running this, the monthly wellness webinar series for Wellness Within. It is my deep honor to be talking today about something I'm deeply passionate about. So everyone who's here today, if you have any questions at all, I really encourage them. Just pop them into the chat. And let's get started. So today, just before we get into what we're talking about today, this is just a little bit about who Wellness Within is. I am the most recent addition to the team, and it's an incredible team for everyone who is a part of Wellness Within who comes there. They're just an incredible group of women, all about they're really dedicated and devoted to mental health wellness, and that's really important. And so, yeah, I'm very happy to be a part of that. This is a little bit of the team who's working there right now. And there's me at the very bottom. So I am Korinna. I am a Reiki master, human design guide. I'm also a cacao facilitator, and I will be headed to Guatemala in 3 weeks today, actually, to get my yoga teacher training. A little bit about me. I have been in this self-development wellness space for well over 15 years now. Deeply explorative of myself and exploring different modalities to help me move through this physical life, and then now transferring that to helping others. So today we're going to be exploring Reiki, all about energy, all about its healing, and very specifically the chakra system. I think that's a really important part to understanding yourself. This is not about, oh, what can I provide you? It's also understanding your energy system, because I really want you to have a better understanding of yourself. And that's the big takeaway today. So we're going to explore what Reiki is, the energy body, how Reiki works, and then also the benefits that you receive. So start off. Okay, so what is Reiki? So Reiki is an ancient Japanese energy healing technique. Rei is universal, and Ki is life force energy. Ki is also like chi or prana, that we might have heard from other facets. And so this refers to basically the life force energy that lives within all things. I like to use the example of a house. So within a home, electricity comes in, right? And it goes and it's all through the home, and it's filtering into our appliances, into our lights, into our outlets. So energy is everywhere. That is basically the life force energy. You as the individual, the energy system that you have, the chakra system, which we're going to be diving into, consider that the light bulbs. So some of them are on, some of them might be dim, some of them might be flickering, and some of them probably need to be replaced. And you've probably forgotten about it because maybe you don't go into that room too often, right? So what a Reiki practitioner does, like myself, is we come in and we help fix the light bulbs, right? We adjust them, we replace the bulbs as needed. So we are merely just the conduit to your energy body. So let's explore the chakra system. I'm just gonna move this over here. So we have 7 main chakras. Chakras is Sanskrit for the term wheel. So consider these like energy wheels that kind of spin within our bodies. And if we know anything about energy, is that energy loves to flow, and it loves to flow freely. So anytime it gets stuck, that's when a chakra will either shut down or become imbalanced. So each one of these chakras are associated with a physical area within our body, which we're going to explore, as well as they are tied into emotions and aspects within ourselves. So whenever we feel balanced, we feel one way, and whenever we feel unbalanced, this can actually affect not only our energetic and emotional body, but as well as our physical body. So we're going to start off with the first one. Oh, there we go. So the root chakra. So the root chakra is associated with earth, and it's located at the base of the spine. And there's these seven chakras, they have seven rights. And so the root chakra is all about the right to be here. So our root chakra really symbolizes our security, our connection with earth, our safety, being grounded, our sense of belonging, our physical body. It's the right to take up space, right? It's the right to exist on this physical plane. It's connected with our family. It's our connection to the physical world. So when we have a healthy root center, we feel safe. We feel like we belong. We have a healthy sense of self. We have a healthy connection with our family. And when it's unbalanced, then we can start feeling fear, insecurity, scarcity. Money scarcity is a big root chakra imbalance. Disconnection to like the physical plane. Sometimes we live maybe more upwards, so we don't really feel grounded. You know, sometimes you feel like your head is in the clouds. That's when you're not feeling grounded. So the root chakra is all about like keeping us here in the physical plane. So it's really important that we notice that. Um, we can also experience pain in the intestines or the lower body when these issues of when energy issues become more of a problem. And we can also have like digestion issues. We can feel tired, and anxiety and depression also can be the root chakra can cause anxiety and depression as well. So next is the sacral chakra. So this is located in the lower abdomen, and it's the element of water. And its right is our right to feel. So when we think about feeling, what is that? That's our emotions. So our emotions sit here, as well as our sensuality, our sexuality. This is where our sex organs are. So this is associated with creativity, with allowing ourselves to feel emotions freely and safely, not feeling repressed or that we have to hold back emotions. This is all about enjoying the flow of life. This is so if you think about um, specifically for women, if you think about the womb is such a creative space. We literally create life. So if you think about that, whenever this area is blocked, we may struggle with feeling creative. We may struggle with expressing our emotions in a healthy way. Um, we may have the big thing is that our culture really frowns upon or doesn't understand emotions. Like sometimes we society says anger is bad. Anger is a healthy understanding of what's truly going on. Now, how we express that and expressing it in a healthy way is really important, but anger itself isn't a bad thing. Feeling sadness is not a bad thing. These are all just expressions of energy. So allowing ourselves to express in a healthy way is really fundamentally important. So when this chakra is unbalanced, guilt, shame, numbness, overindulgence, addictions are a big part of the sacral chakra feeling unbalanced. We also may experience low libido, bladder or kidney issues. Think about hip or a lot of hip because they say so our emotions when we have tight hips they're stored in our emotions. That's exactly where it comes from, right? So whenever there's that stiffness in the hips, doing yoga hip openers is really great for helping move this energy through. The next is the solar plexus chakra. So this is located just in the mid belly, and the element is that it's associated with is fire. So this is our right to act. So this is associated with our personal power. This is our identity. This is our willpower. This is our confidence, our self-esteem, our discipline, our ambition. So anytime that this is imbalanced, we can experience like some fatigue, adrenal burnout, back pain, low self-esteem, or if it's overinflated, there's an overinflated ego can arise here as well. Um, Lack of direction. So sometimes a great example is of how you can feel this in your day to day is especially when you're at a point where you're like, I don't know what my next step is. I don't know what I should do next, or you're hesitant of, I don't know, you're unhappy at your job and you don't know and you're struggling to like leave that job to get a new job. That's a lot of that is our solar plexus imbalances. So again, understanding how does that manifest right into our day-to-day life. And and keep in mind, so when it's balanced, you have this sense of, I know what's right for me. I know what's correct for me, and I'm going to tap into my intuition to help me along the way. Next is the heart chakra. And so we all know our heart space very well. So a lot of this is probably not a surprise. The element that it's associated with is air. And this is all about our right to love and to be loved. So when it's unbalanced, this is where we experience grief. Grief directly impacts our heart space. We can experience resentment here, or loneliness, or bitterness. We may struggle with forgiving people who have wronged us. Um, Jealousy as well. Physical manifestations, poor blood circulation, lower high blood pressure, issues with your lungs or your heart. When you experience over defensiveness, that's often coming from a heart closed place. And so when it's open, you have this capacity and this ability to love. You have compassion for others, forgiveness, acceptance, as well as kindness. Um, Air is like love, right? And it's all around us. We, they say it's interesting because they say that the heart is the gateway um, chakra because the first three chakras are all about the earthly plane, right? It's our place on earth. It's um, our ability to procreate and our creativity, and it's our path through this life. And then the heart is the gateway to the upper three. And as we'll come to the upper three, they're more about our connection with um, everyone else. It's our connection with the world around us. It's connection with spirituality. So having this space open allows, again, the energy to be able to flow up and freely through our physical body. The next is our throat chakra. So the element is associated with sound, and its right is to speak and to be heard. So when this center is unbalanced, this is where we feel like we struggle with communicating. We struggle with speaking our truth. Maybe we're dishonest. We tend to fall and get caught up in the gossip, uh, fear of judgment, right? Because this is all about how we express and how we are received by other people. Um, this is also, we can act in inauthenticity or talking over others. The big thing about the throat is when this gets shut down, we really, this is such a big aspect of how we express who we are. And so, one of the easiest things that we can do to help activate this center is by singing or humming or like that. Those types of things really help activate the throat. And a big thing too is that, when we talk about overactive centers, this is a center where people, like I said, like they can talk over other people. So you can notice that where it's almost like um, they're doing so much to be seen. So that also can be an imbalance to the chakra. So when it's balanced, you have clear communication. You you have you have correct integrity, right? You speak truth. But your truth is not like any old truth. Your truth that comes from a place of compassion, right? Sometimes they say, "Oh, I'm going to give you the hard truth." But does that truth come from a compassionate place or not? This is where you're best to speak your authenticity. And think about it, as the energy moves up, that creativity, right, moving up from your sacral to your throat, this is how we really can express that. So you might be an incredibly creative person, but you really struggle with expressing it creatively. So that's a way of noticing too. Oh, well, maybe you have some throat chakra issues. Physically, there's you can blocked throat chakras can be expressed through thyroid issues, neck pain, throat ulcers, or even having a sore throat sometimes, or having voice strain is representative that not that you've been speaking too much, but maybe you haven't been speaking honestly enough or truthfully enough, or in representation of who you are, if that makes sense. Next up is our third eye chakra. So this is located in the center between the brows. And the element is light. And this is the right to see. Now, yes, we see through our eyes, but this is a different type of sight. Sight comes from almost like a knowingness. This is where they say that our intuition is housed. I always say that your eyes can see, but your third eye can see beyond the veils, right? So our clarity, our vision, our wisdom, imagination, our insight all come from this place. When it's imbalanced, this is when we can experience headaches, migraines, or eye strain. Sinus pressure also can be an indicator of a blocked or an imbalanced chakra. As well as sleep issues, vivid dreams, insomnia, like that type of thing can show an imbalance of the chakra. Lastly is the crown chakra. So this is the top of our head with our cerebral cortex, and this is associated with the element of thought. And this is the right to know. They say that this is, and I try to be as I come from a place of unreligion, but this is about our connection with universe and to God, however that may look for you. So this is the understanding that at the end of the day that we are all connected. So you and me and all of us, we are all connected, and we are all connected, and that wisdom lies in our crown chakra. So this is our divinity, our faith, our connection to the highest self. Enlightenment lies there. So they say that as the energy moves through the body and then moves up to the crown, this is when we awaken, so to speak. So that's where it all happens, right? Energy doesn't just want to flow up though. It likes to flow up and down and up and down and up and down. So that's really important to notice. So it's like once it goes up, it doesn't mean it stays up there. And in fact, as we're going to explore, we're human beings. We're not meant to be perfectly aligned. That's the impossible dream. Unbalanced here, so disconnection. So disconnection with others, disconnection with your spiritual truth. Skepticism, over intellectualizing, isolation, lack of purpose as well can come from an imbalance in this space. Imbalances physically can manifest also as headaches or dizziness, a nervous system imbalance as well, existential emptiness. When it's balanced, you have a deep sense of peace and a divine connection. So there's just this, again, there's this understanding of it all, of seeing and understanding it all. So how does Reiki play a role in this? So as I said, um, we we are here, not unfortunately, fortunately, we are here to live a very human experience. We are meant to feel the contrast of feelings. I always say that contrast creates clarity. So we are here to experience grief, so that and sadness and those deep sorrow, because then we get to experience the joys of love, of that of that divine uh, passion, right? We need to have the yin and the yang. And so our energy systems are going to open and close and open and close. Something's going to happen to us. It's going to impact our energy system. And the key is that understanding what's happening so that way it doesn't manifest further. So an example is somebody who experiences grief. So that impacts our heart space. If they don't allow themselves to grieve properly, that can keep this space closed. So then they have difficulty connecting with other people, allowing other people into their heart space, which then can manifest as heart pain or chest pain later on in life. So understanding what's going on within your energetic body to then be able to say, okay, this is what I need to do to move forward. Reiki is a great tool in the tool belt to help with any blockages, especially if you're really feeling down or you're really struggling, you're feeling low energy. That life force energy is channeled through and brings that vitality back into your life. It helps bring your chakras back into balance and encourages that flow. So Reiki works on emotional and on physical levels. So it's interesting because so what a session feels like is you come onto my table and I'll put you in what's called a parasympathetic, you're into your parasympathetic nervous state, which is your rest and digest. And what's really important about your rest and digest is this is where your energetic body starts to repair itself. So every time we go to sleep, every time we rest at the end of the day, our body goes into that system of, okay, time to clean house, time to, do this and do that. So getting you into that space allows your energy to be more open to receiving Reiki. I do this through what's called a yoga nidra, and it's just a lovely guided meditation. On here on the right hand side, so one of my clients sent this to me, and her aura ring was triggered that she had a 37-minute nap in a 1 hour session with me, which is amazing. This is exactly what we're looking for. Because also what this says is that your body feels safe enough to go into rest and digest. You're not in fight or flight. You're in a space of I feel safe, and I feel so safe that I'm ready to fall asleep. Even though you may not be falling asleep, your body thinks you're falling asleep. That's the magic of your energetic body, your physical body, is that it can do that. Some things that people have said post session is that they feel lighter. I had one girl who said that she came up and she's like, I feel so much stronger now. And what's been going on in her life is she was really struggling with feeling like in her ownership, which was a really beautiful thing. I've had people I've had people who had physical knee pains. I was able to sense it through the Reiki. So I gave their knee extra tending love, and their knee pain ceased. Now, the big thing about Reiki is that it it'll last a few days. You'll feel that peace, that alignment, that softness, that heart open. You'll feel that for a few days, you'll feel it for a few weeks, and then life happens, right? There's no such thing as like a one and done. And if there is something that's a one and done, I would love to hear about it. Um, but that's just not the case, right? Self-care is an ongoing thing, and that's where really Reiki comes in. A big thing is post-session care. So sometimes emotions do come up on the table where you just get waves of emotions. This is a good thing because emotions are often, like we explored, can feel trapped in our body. So again, your body feels safe to release them. I always think that's just such a beautiful compliment. So then that might continue on throughout the day. So that's totally okay. I always empower people to give space post Reiki session to just allow whatever feelings come up to come up. Because we're dealing with the energetic body, I also say that you have to hydrate. Water is so good and so nourishing for our bodies, and energy needs to move out of our bodies. So TMI, you may have to pee a little bit more after the session because of that. Because again, your body is just removing any other energetic toxins that might be in your body. Just some scientific support because I am a human being and I also like science support for some reason. I like to see it. So there have been some studies done, and I encourage you to explore more. It's been really cool because more people and more universities are starting to see and understand the benefits of Reiki, so therefore doing more research on it. For example, they'll do research with actual Reiki practitioners and then like a Reiki sham to see how are there differences. So that's really cool. So science has shown that it activates the parasympathetic nervous system, as we explored. It's shown in studies to help lower heart rate, blood pressure, and cortisol levels. It supports pain management. Some people say that it even helps with their anxiety and depression, which is pretty awesome. And it's also recognized with some major institutions as well as they continue to do further research. Um, so, how Reiki can support you. It is a beautiful complement to other practices. Other practices such like going to therapy, doing your own shadow work, naturopath, TCM, somatic healing, yoga. Think of it as another self-care tool. And again, the big thing is really finding a Reiki practitioner that you feel comfortable with, um, can really, really help you along your path of your own self-exploration and your own healing, so to speak. It can help restore energetic balance. Like I said, I had one client who she's like, I felt so great for 3 weeks, and then life started happening again, and that's why I'm here again. It's like, yep, absolutely, like that makes sense. It can help with physical pain. Um, it can help support emotional releases. Again, especially if you feel safe with somebody, so that like first little bit can release, and then you can go and like handle that release on your own and in your own safe space is really important. And it supports trauma integration as well. I always say that it's like a spa day for your energetic body. So that's really all I have. If anyone has any questions.
So I did get a couple questions in the chat, Korinna. So the first one, and these are from Kayla. Kayla, is it okay if I just read them? Is that okay? So what do you find you work more with? Chakras that are overinflated or activated, or more closed off and shut down?
That's a really good question. I find that mostly they're underactive. I've yet to really see one that's very, very overactive. And a thing to note too is that sometimes chakras can impact one another. One that I see a lot is heart space and sacral, um, or like throat and solar plexus. So one might be impacting another. But I would say, yeah, like mostly they're underactive, or I say like they're sleepy. Your chakras are a little sleepy today. Does
Okay. And
that answer the question? I just want to make sure. Yeah, okay, perfect.
then her other question is that she'll hear or see people talk about intuition and relate it to trusting your gut, but it sounds like third eye chakra is the place of intuition. Can you speak to what people might mean when they say trust your gut and what they're confusing it with?
Okay, love this question too, and I can't help but bring up human design in this one. Do you know human design? A little bit? Okay, okay, so you understand a little bit. So this is the area that I am in deep exploration with because I have the exact same questions about it. And so I'm going to speak to my experience. So, for example, my I think intuition and trusting your gut, they're two different things, and I'm going to explain why. So, when they say trust your gut, first of all, I don't think that applies to everybody. And that's when I'm speaking to human design. So I am a sacral generator. So I am here to use my sacral to make decisions for me. However, my intuition, so like my knowingness or my ability to like see something that's truth doesn't come from my sacral. So my sacral is like my yes, my no, my yes, this is the right path for you. Like this is the right thing. Yep, you should start working here. Yep, you need to do this or yep, you need to go get your teacher training. But to be able to like see and sense maybe someone else's truth or to see um not necessarily to see the trust in a path comes from intuition. So it's subtle, but I there's a difference, and I encourage everyone to like explore that. And if you don't know what I'm talking about human design, I encourage you to explore that to understand because how we make decisions is different from our sight. Does that make sense? Okay. It's hard to explain, and it's something that I've definitely been exploring a lot because this isn't the first time. Like I've had this question before, but the more I sit with it, the more I understand that I see that it's nuanced. Like our intuition comes from it's like a different timeline. It's like a knowingness that like no, 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 no. My gut is helping me along the way. It's like they're so it's like they're a football team. My sacral is the quarterback, but my intuition's the coach, or vice versa. They're on the same team and they're working together, but it's like my intuition has a knowingness that can see further along, and then my ability to make decisions with my gut happens more in the moment. I hope that makes sense. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Um, and we spoke a little bit about this before, but yeah, my question was, like you said, it's not like a one and done.
Mhm.
And but some like a question I often get like as a therapist at the end of my first session is like, what do you recommend? Like, should I come back weekly or bi-weekly or something? So I wonder like how you address that. And I like how you referenced your one client that said like after a few weeks she felt like she needed like things were off again, wanted to come back. So yeah, like how do you kind of figure that out with your clients, I guess? Like what do you tell them?
Yeah, that's really good. So I always say to trust their intuition or trust their body when they feel like they need to do another session. Like I said, it isn't one and done, and I often use the metaphor of an onion. So anything like trauma or pain, like that pain, uh, it's like layers of an onion. So um, with each session, any layers that are like ready to come off, they'll come off and they'll release and they'll let go. And then and the thing is too is Reiki's not the only thing to help peel away that onion, right? Therapy, yoga, shadow work, All of these things kind of, they all blend and they go hand in hand. The big thing is just listening to yourself. So I know that there was a study done where a minimum of 1 hour of Reiki, and they did it over like, and with going back like 8 times, showed like an increased positive result to the overall wellness and balance to somebody. So that's a study, but again, I'm really such an advocate of listening to your own body. And like looks like sometimes you just like, I'm exhausted and I just need someone else to take care of my energetic body. Great. Like that's where I come in and I will tend to you and I will take care of you. And Reiki will do its beautiful magic on you. So really trusting in yourself and like it's okay that it's not a one and done thing. And this isn't about like fixing you or anything like that. It's all about like supporting you on your journey through this physical life, right? No one is perfect. We all have struggles. Even me, like even I have to tend to my self-care and I have to have Reiki on myself too. It's a very, very normal and I think that having that awareness and being okay with like I don't have to do this all by myself and I can have the support from other experienced, whether it be, therapists or practitioners or whatever the case may be. Like that's a gift and we are all here to guide each other home. And that's a big part of why I do what I do is I am definitely the type of person where I'm like, oh, I can do it by myself. I can heal my wounds all by myself. And I don't think we're not meant to do that. We're meant to guide each other home. So allowing that into your life is really important. Anything else? No? Well, I'm so glad that you guys all joined today. It was really a pleasure and an honor. And if you want to work with me, you know where to find me and reach out to me. I'm on Instagram. I'm most active on Instagram. I'm Korinna Elizabeth, Korinna.Elizabeth. Find me there, follow me. Feel free to message me or with any questions that you may have. And yeah, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Korinna.
So welcome.
Thanks, guys, for joining us. I'm going to stop the recording now.